What's going on, friends? Logan Myers back here for Cinephellas.com doing another video game review for the Level Up series. During the pandemic, the past, 5 months, I've been playing a lot of video games. I've played through almost 4 of them now. So I've been really getting back into gaming, and I've been really excited for this brand new game, The Last of Us 2. The original one came out in 2014. Before the release of the second game, I played through the first one again. Had a really great time with it, enjoying these characters once again. It's been a while since I played the first one. And the end of the first game was really fantastic with Joel, saving young Ellie from these people in a hospital. They're going to kill her, but he ends up saving her, and they end up hiding out in Wyoming at his brother's place, and it sets up the second game. So with The Last of Us 2, it's 5 years after the first game. They're still living in Wyoming at Joel's brother's commune. His name is Tommy, hanging out. Something bad happens. Ellie embarks on this adventure seeking vengeance against these people. In this game, they introduce the Seraphites. I think that's what you call them. They're like this really bad cult that kills people, and they're like hard to beat in the game. And a lot of other people, they introduce the wolves with a character they introduced later in the game that really pisses me off. And I love the setting in the beginning of the game. I love Wyoming, the mountains and all the snow. And you see them riding horses through the mountains and coming across zombies and setting up the story, and we're introduced to this character. These 2 characters, we're not really sure who they are and how that's all going to fit into the story. But we get introduced to them early on and not really sure where that's going to go. But throughout the game, we make it to Seattle, Washington, one of my favorite cities, if not my favorite city. My favorite football team, Go Seahawks, takes place over 3 days in Seattle. It's really beautiful. I love how visually everything looks. So you get the Space Needle, and you got like a forest underneath that all the streets are covered in grass now. It just looks like a big forest. And obviously they upgraded the graphics. They look really beautiful. They look more human. Even like I was talking about in my other video game review, the eyes, they look human. They don't look like lifeless. So they fixed a lot of things with the graphics in the first game. They've come a long way in 6 years. And the first 10 hours of this game I absolutely loved. I was so intrigued. I was so wrapped up in the story of vengeance, of playing Ellie, and something really bad happening to one of her close friends. I'm not going to spoil too much, but something really bad happens. It's very traumatic, and it's brutal, and it's grotesque, and the way that character goes out is really bad. So the first part of the game, the first 10 hours or so, are really fantastic, really well done, and it just fucking goes downhill with the introduction of this other character named Abby. Abby's character, she was related to somebody from the first game that Joel took out, and so this is her revenge tale of trying to find Joel and Ellie and kill them, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But the first half, you play as Ellie. The second half, like 10-15 hours, it felt like it never ended. You're playing as Abby and her point of view, what she came across in the story. We made some progress with Ellie's character, and I thought I was going to end up beating the game pretty quick in like a weekend, and then you start basically over as Abby and going through Seattle and coming across these people, the Seraphites, and coming across zombies, and basically you're redoing everything you just worked on, and it really pissed me off. And it felt like it never ended. So I hated how Naughty Dog did that with the story. So that being said, we get to play as this idiot Abby, and honestly, when I was playing as her getting killed, I didn't really care. I'm like, yeah, you can kill her. Just keep doing it, zombies. Eat her alive. I don't give a shit. But as a player, you're like, okay, I want to be done with this character and move on with the story so I can beat it, and just kept going and going and going. And this one particular scene in the forest, I felt like I got stuck there for like 8 or 10 hours. I just couldn't get out of it. I had no weapons. I was taking on like 30 zombies, and it just never ended. Pissed me off. It was giving me emotional fatigue, and I just gave up on it. And my wife was like, no, you need to go back and play it. So thank you, Miss Molly, for believing in me and telling me not to give up, because I came back and actually beat it. Everything's leading up to the final of Abby and Ellie meeting and who's going to live, who's going to die. And it was so lackluster, so underwhelming, and it was just a mess of an ending. As a player, you're working so hard for 20, 30 hours to lead up to the end for an anticlimactic, underwhelming ending. And I appreciate Naughty Dog trying to do something different with this video game, Last of Us 2. And it just really didn't work. The only redeeming qualities of this video game really are the graphics. The first part of the game are really great too in terms of the story. the gameplay, and I love, you know, all the stealth mechanics, you know, the stealth kills, the upgrades of the weapons. The kill scenes were absolutely grotesque and brutal, and they definitely kicked it up a notch in this game in terms of killing the zombies and humans, the Seraphites, the wolves, all the different groups of people that are in this game. I thought the kill scenes were definitely top notch and brutal at times, and I'm like, holy shit! I mean, they went really brutal. And also just seeing an older Ellie and seeing where she's at in life, trying to get through her life, you know, with her new companion, a young child, and doing the right thing, but also dealing with a lot of guilt inside of her, what happened to one of her friends, and her on this revenge tale. I thought it was pretty good. I think we just needed more of her story and less of Abby. So there's a lot of problems with The Last of Us 2. I was really excited to dive into the sequel. I got it for Father's Day. I wanted to knock it out over a few days. I was really struggling playing this game. I didn't care about the characters I was playing as, and I didn't care where the story went. I was just really out of the game. I had so much emotional fatigue. I was very angry. It brought out all these emotions I haven't felt in a long time, and it just pissed me off, and I gave up so many times. So there's a lot of problems with this game, and a lot of things they should have fixed. Some of the decisions they made with the story and some of the characters just really pissed me off, and it ripped my heart out. So overall, if you guys haven't played this game, I probably wouldn't. I would wait till it goes on sale. Don't pay the $60 for this, because it'll rip your heart out and it'll piss you off and it'll bring out all these different emotions. It'll make you super depressed, because it's definitely not a happy ending. So I'm going to give Last of Us 2 a 3 out of 5 Ellie hair pieces. Ooh, I'm definitely interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on The Last of Us 2. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What did you guys think of that ending? This is Logan Myers signing out from my favorite city up here, Seattle, Washington. Until the next video game review in the Level Up series. Cheers!